What's up guys, Will here, Tech, and with the release of two new Reno smartphones, namely the OPPO Reno7Z 5G and the Reno7 5G, OPPO yet again set the bar of the premium mid-ranger devices. In this video, we are focusing on the Reno7 5G, which possesses an AMOLED screen, triple rear cameras, and a MediaTek Dimensity 900 chipset. We spent some quality time with this device, and although there were a few drawbacks, it was overshadowed by its advantages over some of the smartphones in this class. If you want to know more about it, continue watching. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. The design of the Reno7 looks stunning, most especially the back panel, as it shimmers and changes colors depending on the angle of the lighting, which will definitely turn heads. Found on the upper left is the protruding camera setup, which gives the camera lens an illusion as if it was floating on a piece of glass. The back also has this frosted glass texture, so it is very effective in repelling fingerprints and smudges. The unit we have is in the Star Trails blue colorway, but it also comes in Starlight Black if you want a less flashy design aesthetic. We have a sizable 6.4-inch AMOLED panel, and situated on the upper left side of the display is the selfie camera. And right in the upper bezel is the earpiece. It's got thin bezels all around and a thick chin. When it comes to the buttons and ports, starting on the left side, we have the triple card tray for 2 nano-size SIM cards and a dedicated micro SD card slot, as well as the volume buttons. Meanwhile, on the right side, we have the power /lock button, USB Type-C, 3.5mm audio jack, main microphone, and speaker grills down at the bottom, and the secondary microphone at the top. Now, when it comes to ergonomics, even though the Reno7 5G has a tall form factor, all buttons are easily reachable as they are all placed near the middle of the frame. So for those folks who have a smaller hands like AJ here, fret not, as you can reach these buttons with ease. It also feels very light at 173 grams and thin. For display, the front sports a 6.4-inch FHD Plus AMOLED panel with a 90Hz screen refresh rate with a resolution of 2400 by 1080 with a pixel density of 409 ppi. The display comes protected with Corning Gorilla Glass 5 and a pre-installed screen protector, which is always nifty. The display quality is what you would expect on an AMOLED panel. It produces vibrant colors with deep blacks and is viewable even under direct sunlight, as it produces up to 800 nits of peak brightness. On the display side of things, you can adjust the temperature of the display to cool, default, or warm, which is always a helpful feature to reduce eye strain. There's also dark mode in the settings that lets you set how dark you want to go. For refresh rate, you can opt to use it on high refresh rate, drop down to 60Hz to conserve battery life. Audio quality is okay. It's basically what you would expect on a mid-ranger. You get a single downward firing speaker which sounds tinny and definitely lacks bass. It's not really ideal for watching contents, but will suffice for speaker calls. We do recommend you use your favorite wired headphones, as it comes with a 3.5mm audio jack or a pair of good sounding TWS if you have one for a more optimal viewing experience. Running on the Reno7 5G is Android 11 skinned with ColorOS 12. You can have the option to use navigation keys or gestures, as well as the app drawer option if that's what you prefer. There are tons of customization options here, where you can change icon styles, app layout, fingerprint animation, change fonts and colors, and edge lighting. You can check it under the personalization category in the settings. There's also a portrait silhouette option, which we also saw at Realme 9 Pro Plus, which is fun to play with, by the way. And like usual ColorOS versions, it comes with a few bloatwares and tons of pre-installed apps like Netflix, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Messenger, Lazada, and Agoda, which can be removed after setup. Out of the 256 gigs of storage, we have 230 gigs left, which is ample for most users, but if you think you need more, there's a micro SD card slot in the mix. For biometrics and security, there's facial recognition and an in-display fingerprint scanner. Both works as intended, but we highly recommend you use the fingerprint scanner instead for a higher level of security. Under the hood, the OPPO Reno7 5G packs a MediaTek Dimensity 900 5G with a Mali G68MC DDR4 GPU. It comes with 8 gigs of RAM with 5 gig RAM expansion and a 256 gigs of UFS 2.1 storage. The device performed excellently in doing basic day-to-day tasks such as browsing the web, opening all social media apps, binge watching contents on Netflix, and more. Although there are noticeable lags and frame drops in some animations when switching apps. When it comes to gaming, playing casual 2D games are good. We didn't expect any lags, which is totally opposite when playing graphically intensive games such as Asphalt 9, Genshin Impact, and maximum graphics settings. Though it is still playable, but we suggest lowering down the graphics to the lowest possible for it to be much more optimized and for a more smoother experience. If you're interested in benchmark scores that we got, check out our written review link in the description box. Now when it comes to connectivity, the OPPO Reno7 5G includes Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.2, GPS, NFC, dual 5G connection, and USB Type-C. For battery, this device sports a 4500 mAh battery with support for 65-watt fast charging and reversed wired charging. It can last you a whole day if you're not a heavy user, but if you turn on your cellular data most of the time, playing graphically intensive games, as well as do heavy multitasking, expect it to last half a day, which can easily be remedied by the 65-watt fast charging capabilities, as it can juice up this device from 0 to 75% in a little over 30 minutes, which is fast. For battery results, read our article linked in the description box below. Now when it comes to the cameras, it has a triple lens setup which consists of a 64 megapixel main, 8 megapixel ultra-wide, and a 2 megapixel macro lens, while we have a 32 megapixel sensor for the selfie camera. Photos from the main camera comes a little muddy in low light scenarios, details and colors can be washed out. Things can get a little better in good lighting conditions with good color accuracy, though there are instances where the photo lacks sharpness. But in all fairness, the main sensor can produce a well-balanced exposure, which sometimes is hard to achieve in other devices on this tier. Since there is no telephoto lens, we rely mostly on the main camera for digitally zooming in on a subject, and the images were okay with a little to no details. Portrait, on the other hand, background and subject separations can be a little too sharp, especially on the hair area, but overall, it does look decent and the blur effect looks somewhat natural. Now when it comes to selfies, skin tones can be soft and looks much more refined thanks to a subtle beautification that is taking effect in post. For videos, the Reno7 5G can record a maximum resolution of 4K at 30 frames per second, but the ultra steady mode is only available for 1080p resolution. Video quality is excellent as it has vibrant colors and sharp details. Overall, the OPPO Reno7 5G is a solid contender in the mid-range space. But is it any better than most of its competitors? It sure is, since the OPPO Reno7 packs a nice display, decent cameras, and one of the highlights is the 65-watt fast charging capability. With all that, still we have to consider the price. At the price of 26,999 pesos, OPPO should really place this well below 20,000 pesos to be really competitive. So, what do you guys think about the OPPO Reno7 5G? Do let us know in the comment section below, and if you find this video helpful, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to our channel for more content, hit the bell icon so don't miss any future uploads, and be sure to visit yugatech.com for the latest tech news and reviews. This has been Rel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.